Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, and 3. Hey, you will make it TV. Followers, viewers, and supporters across the globe. I'm back with another domestic violence awareness live segment. And because this is what we have dedicated our channel to do this month of October. Isn't that exciting, guys? Why don't we see balloons and horns and celebration emojis in the chat, right? When we come and do these type of topics. Or if you even go out in normal society, though, you might find more people who are willing to have those discussions with you. But I encourage victims to always, or people healing from different type of abuses, to most people, we encourage them to get professional help. But what if you can't trust the professional help all the time? You feel like they don't know what you're going through. So we do segments like these, and I'm not the only YouTube channel. There are many actual organizations, and trust me, I'm aware too. It's a lot of organizations out there that actually dedicate their whole, that's their mission, you know what I mean, to help victims, not just maybe while they're like to escape whatever abuse it might be, but they also help them to try to get back on their feet. Now, let's talk about this part, because not every victim of abuse is going to be saved on the other side of it. It's so crazy. And life shows us this. If they don't end up losing their life, or sometimes they just don't end up being mentally strong or emotionally strong enough to just do that. Like, to you, you're just saying move on. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about domestic violence awareness, ways we can more learn about what people might be going through, or what people can become a victim of, because there's never a special selection process. However people become targets of the things they become targets of, abusers still try to find a way to blame it on the victim every time. When that word abuse get brought up, boy, don't nobody want to be, because it's one of the main ways you can have a person to look at themselves better. Like, when you use the word abuse, everybody take off running, because nobody wants to be known as that, or, you know what I'm saying, known to be involved with it, or known to know about it. It's just one of those things of the world that have always existed, though. Whether you call it that or not, whether you reverence it or not, whether you want a person to believe that's what they survived, or what they going through or not. And I just feel like people still tell people old-fashioned things as far as advice, like, oh, you should just leave and move on. First of all, statistics have already shown, just like with people that end up addicts, not all of them stay off of the drug, and some of them, they ain't touched the drug again in 12 years. You see what I'm saying? You're not being aware to the realities of something, making everything one-sided. You're just not doing it, okay? The truth is, a person could leave abuse, they go on, move on, have a positive life after that, them, they kids, they dog, and everybody. And everybody move on and get new spouses, and they don't even count it to the game no more. It is people out here that end up overcoming obstacles in that way. Then you got others, and you're not downing them, you're not mocking them. I'm bringing this up because it's real. You got others that they just were never able to get past. God rest my, I don't know why she just came to my mind. Cause I had several strong grandmothers in life, that saw many things. Cause our elders, they was here longer than us. And some of them could have been men, some of them could have been women. But some people, maybe they just couldn't get past what happened to them. And you're not just talking about in a relationship. Most relationships start at home, don't they? Start with your own people. I don't care how much you try to outwardly divert that. That's where people learn, this is how you love somebody. This is how you show somebody your love. They learn that at home. What we've been talking about, projections and humiliations and rituals and all of that, because I'm glad it's being brought out. Me personally, I can't call one thing abuse and then try to say the other 12 on the list don't exist. for anybody. Like, not, oh, I believe physical abuse is real, but I don't believe spiritual abuse is real, or financial abuse is real, or emotional. Why would you say that? That's not you being 100% aware of a reality in this world. That's crazy. Oh, that's another thing. Like, you could be have experience with something, right? Like, trauma do different things to people. Straight up, just ask psychologists. It is not promised, even when you get a psychologist and a therapist, that your life, you're gonna be able to have better dreams and less nightmare. They might can help you manage it, but trauma is real. Like, once you hurt a person, you truly hurt them. That ain't no game. Ask the people that work at the hospital, at hospitals and stuff. When something is damaged, it's damaged. That's what you there for, to try to get it back to a closer to a functioning space again. And I'm so sick of people trying to tell victims across the globe how and what they should have did to escape their situation. And the situations themselves evolve every day. Criminals stay coming up with a new way to the good news is most times they just trying to commit the same thing. They just switch up people. And they also switch up the tactics they use, but it's pretty much the same motive at the end of the day. So I'm just saying that's a word of hope, at least as far as awareness. I don't know why they think people just out here being victimized and not studying how these cycles and patterns work. And if ain't nobody doing it, God can use his girl Arthur Teta Sherry. I don't have to be a psychologist to study cycles and patterns and stuff in people's life. And nobody gave me the clearance or credentials to do it. It's something that comes from your heart, because you look at, maybe you could save future generations or other people. And another thing you go through when you spread awareness about certain things that people don't like openly talking about is they could be scared that they man, a woman, or a family member might come across your segment and start looking at them different. But if you're not abusing anybody, there's nothing to worry about. No, I'm not the one wrong here or crazy. The people who think that's okay and that people should not talk about it and do other sneaky abuses to keep them from talking about it are the problem of the world. You need to bring that type of stuff out. Stop telling the victims what they should do. When is somebody going to stand up and start preaching the love of God to the criminals? You want to penalize the victims of the world, and, well, they was at the party, or what that woman had on, she was begging for attention, so we gave it to her. I've literally heard people talk like this. They feel like how a person carries themselves gives them the right. They literally coach that to themselves. A narcissist, they'll tell themselves anything to feel better about what they're doing to somebody. They really will. Like, oh, that person had on a short dress. Well, I just thought they wanted some sexual attention. That's crazy. Like, why are you focused on what a person got on that hard? Literally. And who raised you to think that's okay? And then I'm not going to blame it on parents. A lot of parents did raise their children exactly how they should have raised them. The Bible says, train your child up in the way they should go, and they shall not depart from it. So imagine you not training them at all. Imagine you not teaching them or guiding them or showing them a little bit. I just want to be able to look back on my life as an older grandma or auntie one day in the world saying, hey, as these things were getting worse during our generation when I was around back then, I was speaking up about it. I just don't like stuff being one-sided where there's help for victims. Like I said, there's whole organizations today that literally dedicate their mission to not only helping victims become more positively sustained to like escape their situations, they try to help them get back as close to living a normal life as possible, guys. Now, normal don't mean you gonna ever be the same again. That's what I'm saying. People should think about that before they're quick to inflict trauma, abuse, and hard struggles on people's life. You think you're just doing something to make you feel better. That's what they mean when they say hurt people hurt people. They not playing. They use the word hurt. Every hurt take time to heal, don't it? But you get mad because a person evolved. They heal faster. It's like they body just, at this point, stays prepared. They body stay on guard now. They mentality, they mind, they spirit, they soul. Wouldn't they have to adapt to that if they're supposed to get just accept a ritualistic type of abuse? Yeah, my baby started distracting me a little bit, but the topic was getting good. Cause to me, they only they like for victims, they just be like, have a safety plan, learn the cycles of abuse. But you can learn all of that. And there are people with those stories. They feel like they switch partners a lot, and every one of their partners was exactly the same. And you know what they usually tell people that had those kind of stories? Well, maybe it's not the partners, it's you. Or maybe there's a third thing it could be. Because why would you? You done switch states, cities, partners, everything. Why everybody exactly act exactly the same? Why you going through the same experience over and over? Why would you? Because the most they'll tell you, you want a pillow? Okay, stop yelling. Here, get your crackers. Uh, why would you tell the person it must be them if they have the same experience? And these is whole different people. They whole you meeting all these people at a different age, a different time, even different seasons of your life. Yes, I do say it's worth paying attention to now, because that is kind of crazy. Why are you going through the same thing everybody you meet? Yeah, pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the type, even if I was a therapist, I wouldn't like advise people that maybe it's them. Obviously, there's something way deeper going on. You going through the same experience with everybody you meet, it's just straight up abuse, 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 back to back to back. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But it's supposed to be hard for you to even prove something like that? No. If mostly you have negative experiences with people, once again, why would that be something you're ashamed of? You can't control how people treat you. You just can't. The fact is, you never know how people feel about you or what they said about you or what they doing about you behind the scenes. This needs to be preached on. This is what I was told 2 years ago. It was kind of crazy. Like when I was first prophesied to, um, I was kind of happy that God had something for it. Like He even had me in mind. That's how highly revered I placed God up there at the top. Like, what? God got a word or something He might have me do in life. So this is what God was like, you're gonna help mentor battered women. To be honest with people, and yes, people can feel all the shame they want to, but they didn't have a problem with whole innocent people feeling shame and humiliation for things they didn't even do. So maybe God spoke that to you years ago, and He said you're gonna help mentor battered women. Because battered could be anybody. It could be a man, it could be a child, it could be a dog. Battered is somebody who's pretty much familiar. They've been in an abuse and toxic cycle so long, they familiar with it. And yeah, if you're a normal person, they wouldn't consider you battered. Battered. Somebody that's just known to have been through the rain, water, fire, and snow. You know what I mean? And when it's a woman, those are usually powerful, some of the most powerful stories. Because it's like, how did you endure all of that or something? But that's what God told me. You're going to be helping to do that. So first I got excited, like, oh my God, God got something for me to do. And this was over 10 years ago. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, this must mean that, because how can you be in a ministry or a level of work that of something you've never experienced? Of course you can, right? You can be trained, you can study it, but that still don't mean you experienced it. I just look at myself as one of those women in the world that God did. He was okay with that. He wasn't okay with probably all my decisions and sins and everything, but He was okay with me gaining some experience, most definitely. From what I'm remembering what that prophetic word said, because that was one of the first things I thought to myself, like, how could I help operate or organize something that, for some people that I've never relate to what they've been through. People rather work with people they know can relate to what they've been through. You can't expect people to just openly trust you. And that's the kind of world we live in today. Well, she didn't trust me. She acts funny. She don't have to trust you like that from A to Z, and she just met you. Did you earn any of it? Like me, I would ask more questions with the kind of stuff people be saying, to just how they conversate on a day-to-day basis. Like, look at how you think. That person ain't got to trust you and they just met you. that person there, depending on who you're talking about, don't even trust people they've known 20 years, and you mad because they don't trust you. I would ask that person, how long has he or she known you? Because see, Tom is a virtue. They say patience is a virtue. Tom is too. But see, Tom has nothing to do with the weight of relationships. That's why they say you can meet a person and not know them long and feel like you closer to them than somebody you knew for 20 years. And I actually have watched people do that. To be honest, I don't have to call names, none of that stuff. People need to stop worrying about who you're talking about and listen to the message. I have seen people get closer to people that I saw them just meet. Now, that's normal in a marriage or something. We talked about that too, because this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Families today act like they don't understand that. Yeah, the husband was going to be more busy. He's married now. The wife is going to be more busy. She married now. People know that's how it go. Why you think they be trying to stop it from getting to that to begin with? They feel like they going to lose hold on they precious such and such. They precious somebody. But God literally created them. That's a part of their purpose, to actually be with the person they are created to be. And people think you just now talking about this. How about your actions show louder than your words? People need to stop. That ain't even legal for y'all to be out here choosing matchmaker with everybody. I would say that's a form of abuse. You out here choosing, forcing who somebody gonna be with, and think it's okay because don't nobody know. I think that's weird. Me personally, I find it weird, and maybe I find it weird because it is weird. Like, it's a form of abuse. It's one of those same forms of abuse. They'll tell you you shouldn't accept any other form of abuse. And you're not knocking nobody. This is my version of sharing and spreading awareness. I'm not trying to mock nobody. Actually, I believe in more. Maybe my work will grow, and I'm actually going to go to communities and places where it is prevalent. You just speaking out loud, this is just the beginning, right? People could think, oh, I see what she's trying to do. You don't know what a person, just know this channel is called You Will Make It TV. You don't know what a person trying to do. Just know that, because maybe YouTube was just the start, but you actually got to get out there and do that footwork. Yeah, you could go out and do the footwork and go exactly where you see certain issues more prevalent, of course, in more maybe minority or low poverty or low income areas. You might see those type of situations more, quote unquote domestic violence situations, literally. The reason that we get more serious about talking about it these days is because more and more people on the news. Domestic violence always been prevalent, but even back in the day, it just seemed like the most you heard was, maybe not saying that's okay, but the most you heard was somebody abuse somebody. These days, it ain't enough for them to rally up or bully the person they got a problem with. They got to come at the babies, the pets, anything you attach to. Like, the people are crazy of today. I just think that's crazy. Like, anyways, people have to understand that when a relationship get together, you gotta expect to hear from your best friend less and less, or your homeboy less and less. Like, he whole married now. You'd be surprised, people that's behind the scenes want. So it's going back to why certain patterns even get started. It be somebody that shouldn't even have a feeling about it, having a feeling about it, and then boom, there they go with the background ritualistic abuse, trying to, so you feel like, oh man, every woman I meet, something happens. Every man I meet, anybody out there in the world right now that you feel like you're going through that, it's time to go ahead and pray. And don't think Arthur Tedder Sherry is not speaking from experience. Now, yes, we all have different time rates for things to transpire into our lives. Just because you got your first car at 18 don't mean somebody didn't get their first car at 35. And that don't mean the 35-year-old was wrong. Maybe they got their car when they was, and They were able to pay it off. They waited so long to get their first car. They were able to buy their car. You still financing yours. So everybody do grow at different rates. But yeah, I was saying I might need to get out in more communities. I can sense that coming soon. Thank you for your support in the chat. I can sense that coming soon. That I'm gonna have to go more like inside with my work, cause that do be going on. I saw that before I was even like a main, more platformist advocate about these matters. I would see how, like, if I had a compassion for a certain type of person, I don't care if it was in my community or neighborhood, here come the trolls. Like, oh, why are you helping her? Like, sir, everybody here, y'all fight. And if she asked me for a ride somewhere, I looked that man in the eye that day. It don't matter who it was. Because this lady actually was a complete stranger. But I did learn at an early age, like, don't get in the habit of just trying to jump in it. It's other ways you can help people, because I had kids of my own back then. And you don't need to just be trying to jump in the crossfire trying to help somebody else. And it's crazy. As much as I was trying to be Superman all the time, there are times God saw it. Yes, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Even if you didn't know one day in your life you would need a Superman, you would need a Superwoman. You was just used to being it for everybody else. Which that's okay. But it's just remembering, like, if nobody else see who you are, integrity does matter. When you think it don't, because integrity, if they say God is always watching, what do you think integrity is? They say it's doing the right thing when nobody watching, but if God is always watching, that should help you live a more integral life, if you ask me. But it do take us all, I guess, different times, spaces, places, experiences to get there. The devil is a liar. So it don't matter where he tries to delay or put his print on or mark on. If I'm saying God spoke words over my life long before today, how did you mark something first, right? Or God be saying that, I feel like he'll choose and call people that he know the devil called himself marking too. They just don't want to talk about it. The number one abuser of of earth, if you ask me, seems to be a correlation here. The devil, over and over and over again. You the number one abuser of the world, kinfolk. I know who he is. So I don't look at the people. Like, you just see the generational patterns that seem to be, that surround people's lives, and it just proves it to you more and more. Like, that devil is an abuser. They say he a trickster, he a liar. How is lying and tricking people not abuse, though? That in itself, they could have lived a better life without that. That has to do with manipulating a person's decisions and viewpoints and stuff on life. So how is lying and tricking people not abuse? So I don't mind being in the hot seat or whatever they want to call it, spotlight. At first I cared, because God knows I was never one to, like, I don't know. To me, I wasn't an attention seeker. That's why you went and did live your life as private as you could. I'm not an attention seeker like that. People be thinking you seeking attention. There was another way. Like, people think creating new ways to silence a person is still not abuse. Actually, if we sit there and count every new way, that's more proof of it. You just learning with them, like, wow, a million new ways to silence a person. Wow. I'm not impressed, though. We was talking about Martin Luther King. No, I don't believe he was just, like, randomly assassinated. He was a speaker, somebody who speak the truth, who also advocated against abuse as well. It didn't matter who was being abused. I think his main point was just like, where's the love? Where's the equality? Why are we so quick to abuse one another just because of the color of our skin? But I was just speaking on how even with stories like that, they want us to be stupid, and it's so stupid. Like, so a sniper just randomly, no, that man, his entourage, whoever to put that together against Martin Luther King, had to already be watching him to He had to already be watching him to like be able to get that close to him and do what he did to him. So, but you want to tell people to mind their business when you stalking and following a person? That's crazy. Don't you know Martin Luther King had to have been stalked and followed himself by special ops just for him to be had his life to be taken like. I'm coming back to back with these topics because I know that God is with me and we just gonna keep moving forward, but maybe if people could more see, from afar. Because humiliation and shame and embarrassment, those are all personal emotions that are usually invoked, right? You're not gonna just go do something you're ashamed of, right? But in case you do, there are people out there who feel like shame is the best way to persecute you. Shame is the best way to discipline you. You can't say you was really trying to teach a person a lesson and all you did is shame them and humiliate them. But look, they said they want to be God. I don't know what realm or kingdoms they come from. But you cannot compare yourself to the Most High Almighty God because He is not just, He's never been known, the Most High Almighty God, to use humiliation and shame over and over again to win over a soul. Amen. I've never heard of it. Even with the story of Job, it was not God Himself who called Job to go through the circumstances that he endured. A demon evil person came and asked, could they touch Job? Because that's how it goes sometimes. They already saw he was blessed. They saw he was blessed. They saw he was a righteous man. You think evil people and divinationers and witches and stuff wasn't around back then? Trying to swap places? How we know that ain't what happened to Job? Maybe the Bible was trying to tell us something. It was told in the form that, oh, the devil just came to God and like asked for his permission to. It was told that way, but how it was probably enacted was just somebody that wasn't even righteous trying to switch spots with Job, because he did have a good life before he lost a lot. He had land, he had cattle, he had children, a happy wife and marriage. He had other righteous buddies and friends he could depend on. When I say a good life, that's what I mean. He had a prayer life. He was an upright man walking with God in everything that he did. Why wouldn't a person, I'm saying that is crazy to want a destiny swap, but why wouldn't, even back then, why wouldn't they have been, ain't no telling how long the people of God been going through that. And God told him, He said, yeah, you could go ahead and try to swap destiny with Job and because I feel like why would things just have ricocheted back to back to back in that man's life like that? Even he noticed it. Even the people that knew him noticed it. When something like that is going on, there's something deeper going on. I just didn't like that people say it can only be evil. Like, oh, we see evil spirits around that person, plus that person losing everything. That gotta be the devil. That person gotta be evil. See, they don't understand it, so they just say whatever about it. But the Salem witch trials, all that stuff has really happened in America before. And on other parts of the globe, stories like Job's transpired before. Okay? He didn't do anything to, you know. So, yeah, I'm saying what it sounds like I'm saying. Yeah, a person can have what you think is evil presence around them and they're going through, because people say, yeah, you ain't living a righteous life. That's why y'all suffering. I guess they just got exposed. It's rich people that suffer. What you mean? That just based off what a person going through, that dictates what. Thank you, God, for knowledge, for real. Because people have you believing it. Well, you don't have this and that, so you ain't worth this or that. Like, oh, you should be more focused on this and that. There's no way you can focus on the business. I'm creating all this chaos with your children behind the scenes, just so I can feel right when I stand before people. Because you got to understand, I think people that believe in humiliating others and shaming others into what's that word, submission. Okay, so the point of them doing it is something about public settings. I'm telling you, They want to actually feel right and look right in public settings, literally. So they have to make what happened to you in public, don't they? That way, when they talk about it in public or openly, they actually seem right. They seem true. Like they talking about it in public, it happened to you in public. What could go wrong, right? Breaking down these abuse patterns and cycles. And then people say, "Oh, I see why the devil been attacking her for so long." Like it's just something in her she's supposed to be doing or talking about or helping people to see. This ain't about who you feel like deserves the mouthpiece it should come out of, because if 10,000 mouths won't speak, God will still get his message across. That's what I believe. If 10,000 people make a pact, you think that's going to scare God? 100,000 people, the whole world make a pact and say, no, we won't. Come on, man. They'll put so much energy and power into like what they won't do. Well, do that for the right things. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so if you can humiliate a person in public, like I said, and if you can be humiliated in public, right, what do you have there? Everybody's seen the humiliation. And now this person gets to say, look how that person was humiliated. But it's like, how you know that? Did they tell you that they was humiliated in that moment? Did they tell you that they was emotionally impaired because of what a whole nother person chose to do in their presence, to them or around them? Because if you're doing something for somebody, you wouldn't consider that abuse. If you're doing something for or to help somebody, that's not abuse. But if you're doing something to them, it could be good or bad. You're doing something around them, it could be good or bad, or what we call toxic. Just, or some type of unwanted attention. Okay. I'm asking again, the, how is it ever the victim's fault of what happened in their environment, and you don't have no proof of them actually enacting or partaking in whatever caused the incident? Literally. That person just in their mind and their business. But if somebody just run past you, like I said, and snap your wig off, or just pull your pants down because they want to do a prank on you, right? The word prank is real. It's a whole definition, because it's like a joke or something. You play on somebody. A prank is a little deeper because the point of a prank is for that person to feel some type of way. Shame and humiliation is kind of described as the same thing, but I know a prank is intentionally done to get a reaction out of somebody. But just imagine there's people out here, because society is a new place now. It's people that made big monetization creator checks just going around pranking people, literally. So let's say somebody behind the scenes has a prank TV show, right? They got a prank TV show. Not to give people no weird ideas, because it's been all kind of people getting in trouble too. Like, you just see it on the news when it comes to these ritual abuse and different stuff going on. You just been seeing those stories on the news, like with churches and cults. Okay. Uh, I feel like they like to be right in public, so they do it in reverse and make sure that you feel, as long as you feel wrong, you feel embarrassed. But how are you wrong if somebody around you do something? They just did something right there while you right there. Just so happen. Just so happen. Cause they say the humiliation rituals are always done kind of like in a more public dynamic or setting. They want to. The intention is to. Now with the prank, I said to get a reaction, but embarrassment and humiliation, I don't think they care about your reaction. They just care more that you felt the emotion, like that. Get the colors out of it. Good job. Oh, no, we don't want to crack the screen. I'm trying to turn it down for you.
I want my hour.
Oh. Okay. Wow, that's pretty. Here, pour them out. That's okay. We're still gonna get through the topic. Ah. Cause like actually a lot of things, if I was more like I guess aware in younger ages, cause it ain't like you didn't know existed. Like I think we all a time or two in life done at least had the suspicion or was told or saw like somebody in an abusive situation. Once again, abuse doesn't just have to be physical. It can be financial. It can be emotional. It's really crazy. Okay, so let's say you pull out the whole list of possible abuses that exist in the world when it comes to human rights. Okay, what you'll see on this list is that people start feeling guilty, like, oh, I didn't know this and that was it, and nobody want to talk about it. That's why some have already gone ahead and come to the conclusion that pretty much everybody has a little narcissism in it. And you ain't even trying to talk about it like a evil thing in a positive way. It's like literally the truth. Everybody wants some sense of control over their own life, correct? Or do they unconsciously don't? Why would you be comfortable with a certain authoritarian? And I guess abuse can be at many different levels. It's a cringe topic, but I bet you what, God sees it in any and everywhere it is. Even if it's at a higher level, lower level, because lower level can be sneaky too, because people already don't care about the lower level, so it's actually more prone to happen. Victims are more chosen out of those areas. What do you mean? Because those are the areas in life that a lot of people actually don't like to go and visit. They feel like if they make it out of it, they don't want to, here you go, boo. Come in here. They feel like if they make it out of it, they don't want to return home. You can't blame them, but I'm being serious. This is what they call the low poverty, low income, the low areas of life. Like, who wants to just hang and visit there? If that's how you live at that time, that's how you live. So a person could secretly have a whole, this the days we live in, a whole monetized channel of content, or they can have a whole, they be having like little series and things they create on YouTube and TikTok. And people tune into them. They get, like I said, they get monetized for this. But how do you know somebody you entertaining today ain't on that level? Like, they have some secret dating show where they go out and scout people to get on there, or they got some secret balloon pop challenge and they scouting women and men to get on there for them. Everything ain't illegal. The only thing I would say is illegal is people not thinking about, this is a different day. A person that was just a regular Jane yesterday could be, and I'm serious about this. It's like some people don't want everybody to have access to that. Let's be honest. Like, it's the beginning of the show. They don't want everybody. They'll say social media and all this stuff for everybody, but they really deep inside don't want everybody to have access to that. Like, literally them going viral is as easy as you might post the right or wrong content and you go viral. Now, whether you go viral for good or bad reasons is another story. Either way though, that's how easy it is. And it's like people told themselves deep inside, or they be on it and they don't look at that. They don't see how that's abuse. Like, did you ask that person, could you take their whole image, their whole being, their whole ideas, and just, even if it's your show or your podcast or your whatever it is, did you ask them, could you put them on a series? Most people sign a contract when they go into stuff. Now, people mention what verbal contracts is, but it's levels to this. Like, you don't do verbal contracts for everything. You gonna want to have some paperwork and signatures. Period. Like, oh, we just gonna record your life on the side. You can use the money, but if you even feel like that, make sure the person getting the money. So these internet streets is crazy these days. I do feel like eventually they will end up coming with even higher security precautions, higher, even with internet and cyber. Because if you're gonna go to digital currency, they gotta be what's coming next. Digital currency and digital IDs. Why not digital heightened security for these internets and social media platforms? And they probably had a lot of people quit certain forces when the internet came out because I no telling what all they had to keep up with and follow because people just be out here doing anything. Uh, but yeah, it could be that close to anybody. Your local neighbor in the neighborhood, even if it ain't your neighbor, just somebody in the neighborhood, they got a TV show, or they cousin do, or they cousin know a friend that knows a friend. But you didn't ask them for their information. That's how the world is today with social media, and it ain't. They might as well take all TV shows now the way social media is and content creating. People entertain themselves today. What they think is funny, what they think is drama. Have we noticed that since the internet, since social media been out? They'll go create their own content, and they were encouraged to. And they'll go create their own content and have you being featured or a star or a main character or a main leader in a show somewhere you didn't know about. It's many stories about it happening in different countries, like in Japan, uh, where they think they signing up for something else and it ended up being some hoe else. He gets on the show. Well, he was trying to make it on the show, and it was like something you had to survive. Not survive, but like, oh yeah, you got to be in this apartment for 30 days, and we're gonna send you food, whatever you need over there. But you gonna be on, you gonna be on this show. I don't know. Like, how do people not know that you can take a prank too far? Or that at a certain level it just can't, you can't even put it in the same category, whatever, depending on what it was, as a prank. Like, how far did you go? Then see, that's a way to get forced, like people get forced to, okay, so what's the issue? Because that this or that can't be a prank. People know pranks when they see a prank, and the thing about a prank, at some point you tell the person that it's a prank. So everybody can't use that as leverage of why, go back and depend on stuff like that, or I didn't know, or I thought it was a prank, or I just heard. Like, you want to be careful with all of that. Can carefully, slowly end up being the doorways to somebody else's domestic violence whole issue. Just like a burn or a cut, you wouldn't want to irritate it. You wouldn't want to infecting it is another thing, like it getting infected, but you wouldn't want to irritate it either. Like, you scratch it too much, or you clean it too much, like, or you put the wrong type of ointment on it, you can irritate it. That's how people's lives be. Stable condition is better than bad condition. Stable ain't always the best or the top tier, but stable is a blessing. Thank you, God, for all of us that you will make your TV that want to God with me real quick. Because we can be grateful for what they call the little things. But stable, thank you, God, because stable could be worse in anybody's life. Stable don't even mean you got it all together. You're in a stable condition, and that's with your health or spiritual or anything. Stable could be all the way down broken, right? Because some people stable and they be complaining, not knowing there's a devil out there somewhere really want to see you doing worse than stable. Or some people really would rather see you doing less better than stable. They look at you like, who are you to be stable? and don't let you be doing a little better than stable. All of that. Now that side of it would be considered financial abuse because you have no business feeling like that about somebody's financial life. You can make it about that person's character and personality, whatever you want to make it about. Do that. But now you take it to another level. Like, I feel like this person shouldn't have finances. You know there could be abuse depending on what you're talking about, right? Because now anybody, that person might, oh, they got questions. Where's the money? And you ain't even talking street stuff. People have bills and other things that might be due or they owe or they got to pay on. But people don't care about that. You can have a 5-year debt that you want to actually work on your credit and get off of there. Thank you. It ain't too many people you heard, because if you help somebody pay off a debt, right, you got to have proof of saying you've done stuff like that. Like, you help somebody pay off a debt. It ain't financial abuse if you don't. But to get in the way of somebody else trying to do that, how is that not financial abuse? It's levels to it. I'd rather stay fully away from somebody before I'm considered abusing them. And if a person just, if they already know that's your stance, all you can do is try to make a person look like, well, they abused somebody in life. Maybe they went through all them stages from being abused to maybe being accused of abusing others. Who knows? Who knows? Because like I said, physical abuse is not the only, for example, they call the word neglect a form of abuse. Wouldn't you rather just be fully away from a person than to even, you might not be considered a friend, but to just be considered neglecting them is crazy. Neglect is like whole missing out the picture, like no intake of care at all. Or what's another one? Cause why would, and they just expect, oh, you gonna feel embarrassed, you gonna feel ashamed, you gonna feel humiliated by this. When it's so many other mothers, fathers, families, you know what I'm saying, relationships going through different things every day. They are together. They not single people. Some people, they're a whole family unit, whatever. And they still have, their own life challenges and things they go through to try to help make sure everybody in the family is getting what they need and stuff. Because who wants to be considered that, right? Like, oh, neglectful or oh, abuse in some way, shape, or form. That's why it's another one of those quiet kept topics that people don't like talking about. I know they don't, because at one point, I just feel like I always been open to that though. Like, if somebody need to vent about it, or because they might not see it that way. And it does have to get deep for some people to just cut out, what you would call or make some personal changes or inner man changes to their life to where they're not faced with so much conflict all the time. Because you can't tell me that just falls out of the thin air. Conflict, if it gets to that level, it's got to be something deeper going on here. Especially with a person that just don't go out looking for conflict every day. You associate with who you have to associate with and keep it moving. And I say have to. Like, it's a dire must. You have to pay your bills, like the bare minimum. Just to, if, because people act like, yeah, this was the only way. It could only be toxic. And it shows you a lot about people. No, if another whole option is laid on the table called peace, and you don't choose that peace, that says something too. You can't just point out where you thought you see chaos in somebody's life and think that you're going to miss that no matter how much chaos was around, if that person was choosing peace every time, that's going to show too. Because how can you control that? Once again, to me, chaos don't just fly out of the earth, fall out of thin air. Maybe once upon a time I looked at it like that, like, oh, that's just the devil. We keep it moving. Like, you always just was strong, regardless of what you looked at it as. Like, you did always have a sense though that it could be something like that. Like I'll just be like, if it's negative, it's the devil. Like some of us, we laugh about that in the black community because some of us do think like that. Like, but really, I was talking about that on another stream in the past. Here recently, feel free to tune into previously recorded streams. How sometimes you can see when it's God too. And it ain't that it's negative, it's just like you don't like how he's showing you. You don't like how he's bringing it to you or putting it to your face. Because, see, any punishment, this is just what I believe, any punishment you willing to give another, like put somebody else through, you got to make sure you can handle that. And if a person can't, if they end up showing they can't, however people feel like you could show that, it just show you, like, so why did you just put another person through that, right? But that's what they say, hurt people hurt people. Like, they don't mean it in a way that it's okay. And I don't understand that either. There's many people share their stories like that's not just what they chose to become, an abuser, because they either witnessed it or went through it themselves before in life. A lot of people just go on about their way and just do something new with their life too. But I pray for people because you never know they chains, they bondages, what they are coming from. You just think, oh, go change your life. Some of the stuff people had in their life going on before, everybody dealings be different. So I do pray for people. Because I feel like, I can't talk about domestic violence awareness and think that things that when people want to get out of or they want to change, if you the type of organization or something that don't let people do that, I find it abusive, right? And everybody might not agree with that because they feel like, oh, well, this is just how this is, and this how I know. Well, it can change if people feel like they want to join some, or I guess that's what makes joining something different. Y'all all committed to something, or you commit to something. I guess that's the point of it. But I guess that could change. Like, they gotta be wrong. You don't let people walk away from it too, if they want to. Like, oh no, well, it comes with conditions and all of this. And so I do. For a long time, I've always prayed for people because that's just a higher level of understanding. Like, you never know where they are coming from. You can look at a person if you want to and just think, oh, they making all them choices. Poor them. Look at all those unfortunate choices they're making when you didn't know they options. You can think that if you want to. People are influenced every day. And I just think that's sad because if you become a part of something and you decide you don't want to be a part of it no more, and then you trying to live a life. Like, at first I was writing this fiction dramatic book. I was gonna write a story about, just write more stories, I guess, use my gift to do that. Talking about Get Out and Boom. I was gonna write more stories, y'all, talking about like dilemmas and real things that God really do have the power to pull people out of, especially when it comes to abusive patterns, cycles, because some of this is generational in families. People become things because their mom and dad was. Okay, they become victims of certain things because everybody in their family always did, or something like that. Like, it just be deeper in the eyes of God. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go because my baby is calling for my attention this whole live stream. But we might be back this evening with another part to this segment or whatever, because you can't talk about domestic violence awareness enough. I might even collab here soon and get some more ladies on the show with us to talk a little bit more women empowerment. And it's not always about being extra pro-feminist and stuff. I don't know why people think that. It's like saying it's not okay for us to be working on ourselves. You can't be willing to sit there and talk about the women, but then when they trying to gather and put things together to work on themselves as women, you trying to stop that. Now there would be something wrong with that picture. As much I sat back and listened to it, as much as we had to say about women and the choices they make of society today, we should be first in line to get out of their way when they trying to create missions and programs. And because where does creation start, right? It is a thing for our women to understand who they are, their power. uh of course nobody's life is going to be perfect, but why it gotta be, oh, I'm settling in anybody's life, I'm settling for whole abuse? It's just crazy to look at the world that most of it is back. That's like the root to a lot of stuff. I hope not. Everybody got a low-key slave somewhere. I'll never be with that program. You know what I'm saying? That's weird to me. Everybody got a low-key, because to me that's how it looked like. You shouldn't have to low-key have somebody you're taking advantage of just because it makes your life come together better. You know? Or whatever reasons people tell themselves. Abuse is wrong, and it's many forms of it. And like I said, when you read that list of all the things that can be considered abuse, people already start gasping like, hey, have I been through this? Or that's why I don't want people having an awakening about it. They do not want people discussing it. Like, well, it's funny, but it's not. Because why wouldn't you want people to be more aware? This is going to lessen and decrease, even if it doesn't happen immediately. Because now people are becoming more of themselves and even others and how others matter. It ain't about having, it is about having love in your heart. But a part of it is just not just situational awareness, domestic violence awareness. Like what triggers you to get whole violent, bro? Your emotions? Well, you have some things to work on, bro or sis. You got some things to work on. Here you go, Pooh. Like you can hold, just choose peace and walk away from the situation before you be violent. But once again, what did I say? I pray for people because you never know how abuse is so deep. You never know who is going through that, who's doing it to somebody. That these are the different faces. I might try to create a AI picture of that, like the different faces of abuse.